Okay, welcome to One Stop Co-op Shop. This is Steve here with the awesome people, of course. Bairnt, how's it going?
It's going great. Yes, Steve has a chat for us that we all can kind of figure out kind of what we're going to talk about, and he has labeled it the awesome streamers. So it's pretty awesome. So we get together and make sure we know what we're talking about before we actually get on. We have a little plan most of the time. If they're anything like my plans, you know how those do. Anyway, yes, Stu, awesome. Good to be here. Good to be here. Canje, always great to see you. Please, how are you doing, my man?
Hey, how's it going? Well, thanks for having me again. Always a pleasure chatting with you two fine gentlemen.
Oh, awesome sound, you folks. Okay.
That sounds
Welcome,
awesome. That's
welcome,
amazing.
Jan. Thanks for being here. Okay, yeah, we're here. This is our live chat. So we try to do this weekly, and we talk about whatever comes to our mind most of the time, but are generally focused on cooperative board games. So this week, we thought would give you insight into kind of the games that have been hanging on table. Some of them that you've seen on our channels, and some of them you have not seen on our channels. And we'll get into maybe some thoughts on some of those games. So
We're
fun
going to
times.
dig deep.
Dig deep. You got it. So how about you start off, Bairnt? Well, pick one game you want to talk about.
Pick a game I want to talk about. Which one do you have on the screen?
I just cycling through them, so.
Oh, you're cycling through. All right, that doesn't help me at all. Okay, so here's the family game that we've been playing a lot. We have been playing the Quacks of Quiddleberg. Is that the right way to say it?
Quinlan.
Quiddlin. We just call it Quacks because we can't pronounce anything, and I normally can't pronounce anything to save my life. This is the game we've been playing a lot as a family. It's been fantastic. It's a bag building, press your luck game. The kids love it. Even if you fail, it's not the end of the world. You can still advance your bag, or you take your victory points. We were supposed to draw tokens out of a bag, but you want to make sure your potion does not explode. If it explodes, you just get a little bit of a penalty. Not the end of the world. And while you're doing that, you're going to gain money that you buy other tokens to put them in there. And each of these tokens do different things as they're being drawn out of the bag. Super fun. Lots of different expansions you can add to it. This was introduced to me by Colin. He is always my nemesis when it comes to games I probably wouldn't have bought, and then all of a sudden I do. That's the deal with him. So he was able to give me a copy of the game, which is very kind of him. But we've been playing it a ton. It's a lot of fun, and I strongly recommend it for anybody who has family, and even outside of family, because we played it over at his house with the 4 adults, and we had a blast doing it. And I won because of the tiebreaker. The tiebreaker was the person who hasn't played the game before wins.
Okay.
We decided that's probably the best tiebreaker of all time.
I feel like Colin's a nemesis for a lot of people, if you put it that way. Getting us to buy games we didn't expect to buy. So.
Very true.
And yes, Jan, what? You're allowed to play without camera recording? Sometimes I feel like that's a no, but we do make it work every once in a while.
It's true. Believe it or not, it happens.
Yes, so. Cool. Canje, I
Hey,
know
what about you?
you've been busy.
Me? Let's see. I've been playing.
With one thing, like racking his brain around one thing all week. But it's been an absolute blast to see it in action, I have to admit. Sorry, Canje, go ahead. Tell me what you've been playing, my man.
Yeah, I've been playing, and if I say the name wrong, everyone on the internet's gonna kill me.
I didn't say Quiddleberg, so don't worry about it.
The I've been playing that. I got 2 playthroughs under my belt. I'm on vacation actually, starting today for a whole week. So
Awesome.
I plan to go through just an entire scenario, just so everyone can get a feel for the game. The reprint is supposed to be happening May 3rd. I think that's what Dominic said. So they can, get a feel for the game and see if it's something that they want to play, or if it's something you want to invest in on Kickstarter before it comes out. But that's been, since we're only doing one, that's been the one that I've been working on. There's a lot of nuance to it in terms of the rules, but I know he said that he's rewriting the rule book to make it more friendly. Yeah, someone asked me to write it. I was like, I know. That is not my skill set. My skill set's not writing rule books. I can do videos on how you play the game, but writing a rule book, no thanks. But
I
still,
hear hear ya.
Ryan
But
Goodbuck's
still,
a
it's
special skill. Yeah.
yeah. But that's one of the ones that I've been playing so far. Good game, good exploration. It's one of those kind of open sandbox world movement card draw. There is dice mitigation, so there's RNG, but there's mitigation for it if you play it. But I'd probably say, I said it a couple times, but for people who like games like Hexplore Gloomic Hillforth, Mage Knight, Legends of Novus, like if you like any of those, this is the game for you. If you're like, I don't like games like that, then it's not gonna scratch that itch.
How's it ranking for you with those other type of games?
Nothing will beat Gloomic Hillforth for me ever. But I've explained countless times why. But I'll say, it to be fair for other games to have a shot, I'd probably say, I rank it up there with Hexplore for sure.
Okay.
I think I enjoy Hexplore a lot. Forest of Adramon's the top one for me right now, but I rank it up there with. Would I play this game a ton? Yeah, I think so. I think I'll play it on my. If people are asking for more content, I'll play it on stream. If not, I'll play it on my own. But it's something that I think will return to the table from time to time.
Steve, what have you been playing, man? I'm
Lots
gonna go
of
with
stuff off screen, which is always fun. So I've been fortunate to be able to sync up with a number of our Discord community members and be playing games with them every so often. The one we played last night even was Tiny Epic Dungeons. So Ryan Picklesmeyer, him and I have been playing that. I want to say like once a week for past 3 or 4 weeks. Might have missed a week in there someplace. I'm not sure. But we were determined to win a game together. So we played last night. We finally won. It was a lot of fun. That game is. I enjoy the game a lot. Hey, Laqueter, welcome this morning.
Good to see you, my man.
Locator, hey, how's it going? Welcome. He is also a content creator, makes some fantastic content as well.
Yes, he does. This is very true. Very, very true.
It was like seeing
Go check it out.
Friend content creators. Yeah, so we're playing Tiny Epic Dungeons. It's been a lot of fun, and it's been interesting because the iconography is so extreme in that game, and even last night.
Extreme?
What's that?
Molly Extreme?
Yeah, Molly Extreme.
Ooh.
Yeah. And it's so much that I was playing Healer class. I didn't realize that their base innate ability is actually a bonus skill, because if it has this icon plus a colon plus whatever it does, that's a bonus ability. If it has the icon plus the ability, that's just a normal action. So he has to see that colon, and there's only 4 of the 24 something characters that have a bonus one on there, and I didn't realize that was that case for this healer. And
I think 24 characters are the only 24 that have that bonus.
Only 4 of them out of I don't know how many I have. It's
out
20
of the
of them.
24. I thought you're 24 of the characters have this bonus only. I'm like, how many characters are there?
No.
Zombie side.
Not quite that bad. No. So I just realized that last night that this is a bonus ability. So iconography is great, but sometimes when it's so minute like that, it's easy to miss. So, but we eventually caught it. But and the other thing we did.
That game. I'm sorry to say, Steve, I can't play that game. I stopped my math at Algebra 2. I don't think I can deal with the math in that game when it sounds X minus Y equals Q divided by 2, all different icons.
It sometimes feels that way. The dice is awesome in that game, though. I really like it. Actually, because it's great that if you kind of want to roll high or low, or both, ideally in a lot of cases. And so it's kanji friendly, I would say. Because
there's dice that are kanji. Well, there is the saddler their dice system usually is very friendly to me.
Yeah, exactly.
And I love their dice system.
Me too. But yeah, we played that one. We also house ruled it because surprise.
No.
We changed it up so you had to move the wards to the lair instead, but instead of giving the boss to the wards, If you play the game, you probably know what we're talking about there. But anyway, I like that. I might play that way from now on. It just made a lot more sense to keep the boss in its lair, so it made it more interesting. But we'll see.
I love that. Like that description drummed up like 3 topics that we could talk about.
I have a lot of things to share, so we can. But yeah, Tiny Epic Dungeons. This is one of the better. I gotta figure out where it ranks for me exactly in Tiny Epic series, but it's definitely up there. Did a good job. The iconography is the biggest hurdle, but other than that, it's well done.
That's awesome. I'm going to throw 2 at you now, Steve.
Go
just
ahead.
back to back. Okay, so first one is Planet Unknown. I'm playing this one. I played it with Brent and Colin over at his house. This is a tile. It's kind of a, what do you call it? Almost like a Tetris-y type thing where basically there's this thing in the middle. You spin it. The one person gets to not spin it. It points to a 2 tiles, and those 2 tiles that person can place. Everybody else is pointed at a different thing. They don't get to move it on there, not when it's not their turn, and they have to take one of the 2 tiles from their area and put them down on the board. And your goal is to connect these tiles to make an entire planet and try to explore it. But in the process, you have to like collect these meteoroids. You're not going to get points in your row, or you got to collect your I don't know, life pods. You also there's a little rover you can move around on the board and collect different things as well. And at the end, you also get points based on how many different types of tiles you've placed or what symbols are on the tiles. There's like 4 different ones. There's these little tracks you move up, and you're going to gain like advantages as these tracks move up certain tracks. So sometimes you want to go up this track to get these advantages, but without it, you can need to go up this track. So it's kind of cool how you want to try to maneuver these tracks, but still make sure you're not placing things in stupid places so you can't get anything else in there in Tetris-y style. So it's pretty cool. I like this. I want to play, what does Jan say? I want to play Planet Unknown with friends. Yes, you need to play Planet Unknown with friends. It was super fun. We had a great time doing it. It was the first time I ever played it. I did not win that one. That one I did not win.
Is it pretty fast? That's what Jan asked. He's asking.
Yes, it actually moves very fast, especially once you know what you're doing. The only time it doesn't move fast is when Bairnt's not sure which of the 2 tiles he should take out of the bin. And there's only 2 he had a choice at, and he still sat there for a long time trying to think of which one he wanted to take. It was out of control. So but overall, it was really, really cool. T. Clark, good to see you. Thanks for joining the chat. It's awesome to have you here. The other one I've been playing is Bard Song. Yes, and it is coming Sunday, I promise you. I know it's on the schedule for Friday, and I told Mike I have to push it back to Saturday. Well, then my D&D group had to change from Saturday to Friday, so I couldn't edit it on Friday, so now I'm editing it today, and it's going to be up tomorrow. I promise you all, Bard Song is coming. It is fantastic. Not Bird Song, Bard Song. Come on.
Bird Song.
My Midwestern accent might not be the greatest, but come on. Bard Song. Bard Song. I'm actually painting up some of the guys. Sadly, in the playthrough, I was trying to paint it so I could get all the people painted for the game, but it's one of those things where these monsters just keep coming on the board and you don't know which ones it's going to be, so I painted up a few of everything, and sadly, still some gray minis hit the ground.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one, to definitely see how it plays, and one day me and the lower 8% will receive our our game, because it still hasn't come here yet.
Someday this year, I have faith that you will get this game. That is my.
Yeah, SFG wrote me an email. Well, they said that they wrote the last. I think it's 800 people have not gotten the game yet, which accounts for 8% of the entire thing. And so they wrote all 800 backers who haven't received it an email that says, "Oh, we're sorry, this is happening. Good luck."
That's it. Good luck. Canje, I will tell you right now, my game came completely damaged in the back. Like, I have to have a new box sent to me, and they messaged me and said they'll be sending out a new one. I will cry very bad.
Oh, I know it's gonna get to you before me.
If I get the replacement before you get yours, that would be ridiculous. I would just give you my broken copy so you could have it. There's nothing in the box broken. The box is just in shreds, though, is what it is.
Oh my gosh!
Yes.
Yeah.
That's how it goes. Oh no, yes, gray minis. Gray minis are on in the playthrough. I apologize. I think there's 2 that hit the board. There's nothing I could do. I wanted to get it done. I've been having a blast with Bard Song. This one I went in apprehensive. Steamforge Games, I believe, also made Horizon Zero Dawn, which was, if you know me, Steve and I have tried to play that game, and we actually ended up putting it into our flop pile.
I'm sorry.
When we flop it out the door and hope somebody picks it up on the street and they're poisoned with the game. So I was kind of hesitant on this one, but super impressed with how this one plays, and I'm excited to continue going in this one. Those are my 2 games that I had left. Canje, now it's your turn.
I want to jump in the Horizon Dawn thing, because I still feel bad about that, because I remember, like, Bairnt, we should play a game. Can you play Horizon Zero Dawn with me on the stream? He's like, yeah, like Bairnt's normal enthusiasm, and it wasn't there. I'm like, this is different, you know. We played it, and I felt so bad.
It was not the greatest experience. Now, again, devil's advocate, just core box. I haven't actually continued on listening to how this game has developed or anything, but you have to remember the core box is a small core box. There was supposed to be like a stack of boxes all the way up from the floor to about your shoulder of expansions. Now, I have no idea.
I hate that. I hate that. I hate when companies do that. It's like your game is crap unless you pay more money. I'm not interested.
I don't know. The game could still be not the greatest, or it could have gotten better.
Yeah.
I answer the question.
SFG hasn't really hit the mark for me. I'm hoping Bardsong is the exception to the rule. Sounds like it is from what you're saying, Bairnt, because I played their Dark Souls game.
Yeah. One of the cool things, some of the neat things about it, it's like they mashed a bunch of the cool things you found in other dungeon crawlers and put them together. Like the tile exploration, one way you could play is sword and sorcery style. You could also play it, what is it called? Shadows of Brimstone style, where you're drawing cards. But then every card usually has something attached to it, some kind of thing that changes how that's going to happen. So how the battles unfold or how the room reacts, which I think that's the shining point. And then the combat quick, it's fun, and I like the fact that every monster I was playing had a different AI pattern or different like behavior that they were doing, instead of just he moves and up and attacks. He moves. I mean, a lot of them were moves up and attacks, but how they did it was usually a little bit different. And then the other thing I liked was the fact that you're kind of creating this board and you have to try to hit certain parts that are laying out on the board in order to collect these things. I think that's a neat little system that I haven't seen in any dungeon crawler. It takes away from the pseudo exploration that you get from Shadows of Brimstone, which is technically it's like, oh, there's 3 different ways out of this room, but you go this way and you never go back the other way. It's kind of like a pseudo exploration, you know what I mean? The Ghost Betwixt removed kind of the pseudo exploration system by when you got to a branching point, you'd put out the tokens to different places, so you may have to come back if you explore another area and you find that that's a dead end, which is kind of cool. But anyway, I'm talking. You're all going to see Bardsong on Sunday, so get pumped, pump it up. Oh yeah, Bardsong's coming.
From the Macho Bairnt, Randy Savage.
Macho Bairnt.
Bonesaw!
Randy.
I think the best one was, I got you for 3 minutes of playtime. So for me, the next thing on my table, which I'm playing tomorrow, is 4 Against Darkness. I'm going in the full roll and write try, right? I've never been down that road, so I'm giving it a shot. And 4 Against Darkness and D100 Dungeon are the 2 top ones that I'm seeing on BGG that are the ones to give a shot to. So I've been learning 4 Against Darkness. It's not a hard thing to learn, but I have done some kind of upgrades to it. So it's not, hey, you're looking at me right on a sheet of paper. It's more to it. I've gotten some upgrades from I can't remember where. One Up, I think it's what it's called. I can't remember, but I got some upgrades from there to make it a little bit more presentable and enjoyable on table, so people can get.
You made it sound really presentable. When I'm going to write on a piece of paper. So I'm sure it'll be a blast. It's always good to be able to bling out games. That really makes them kind of cool.
It's also tricky to figure out how to make it work on stream too, right?
Yeah.
Because it's one thing to sit down and play a game at a table, but it's another thing to how do I present it to the viewers? How to make it interesting? How can I make you follow along?
And a lot of it is dice rolling, which I think if anyone knows my history with dice, it's just going to draw a lot of hilarity anyway. So we'll see how that goes. The other one that I'm looking at is Storm Weavers, which just delivered to backers from a Kickstarter that came out. That's another kind of, well, it's not a roll and write because there's actually boards and things to play on. There's like standees that you use to move around stuff, but it's there's a thick book that is basically a choose your own adventure style path. So I'm interested to give that one a shot after I get through all this other stuff and see how that goes. But so far, we'll see.
Yeah, I've been. We're talking about some preview type stuff. I've been playing a couple of preview games. Continue playing Leviathan Wilds. This game.
Without me.
What's that?
I said without me.
Is that the one where you had to climb up the giant dude?
Yeah. It's Shadow of the Colossus, the board game.
Exactly. That game is a 100% all-in back for me. Like, every time I sit down and play that game, I'm loving it.
It's good. Awesome.
And they are adding a lot more. They keep revealing new Leviathans on the demo, so they keep upgrading, adding new stuff, and tweaking things. The graphic design is changing as well, so we'll do another playthrough of that one when it's closer to launch date. But the interactions of it, the way you can customize your character, I like the direction they're taking in the Leviathans, and they're actually really interesting, and they're all feeling very unique. So this one is an instant back for me, all in, loving it. Highly recommend. I
enjoyed it. I enjoyed it for sure when I played it with you all. I thought it's an instant back for me because it has a lot of things I like.
Yeah, and it's a lot of it's interesting because you can play stuff out of turn, so you always feel engaged. I'm a big fan of that. So the other one I did a video for on the main channel, Cover Previews, and I'll be doing another playthrough coming up here, is Hacktivity. It's a new publisher that's going to focus, I believe, exclusively on cooperative games. So I was excited to see this is his first foray, if I remember correctly. And you are hacking to a network and trying to stop these viruses and anomalies. That's thematically what's happening, but mechanically you are playing as a character and you have a deck of cards, and you have to draw so many cards a turn around, and you can draw from your player deck or the bad virus deck. And the kicker is when you go through your player deck, that's it. You can't even draw more cards, and you're forced to draw from the bad deck, the virus deck. And the goal is to try to get through that virus deck before you and whoever else you're playing with runs out of cards, basically, or you can't do anything about it. And you have a ton of resources to manage. Like you have got a little bit of stealth in there. You've got this a health, which is your firewall level. It's pretty cool. The biggest pro I could say for that game is the balance of it. It seems really well done. Every time I sit down and play the game, the games are very close, and it's normally pretty exciting. Now, it does have a lot of icons on it, so it's all icons pretty much. So there's that, and I only have 2 scenarios. There's a lot more scenarios in the game, and I get the impression it's going to take it to another level as you progress in complexity. So I'm not sure what that's going to be. So I'm only seeing the intro level right now, but it's pretty cool. Yeah, stealth and Steve. Yeah, exactly. I love anything with stealth. Ooh, stealth. So squirrel, stealth. So,
yeah, I'm looking at some images of it now. I've never heard of it before, so I'm curious to see how it plays out.
Well, maybe we should meet up sometime. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I have the physical copy.
Yeah, I do need to make it over to you. I think we need to plan for that for sure.
Yeah. If everyone doesn't know, Canje and I both live in the same state, only a few hours apart. So one of these days we're gonna have some crossover streams, I think. So
yeah, for sure.
I don't live near them.
Yeah, but you live near Colin, like super close to Colin. So
and you and Colin can solve that problem by moving to North Carolina. I'm just excited.
Actually, my goal is to get him on to stream on Wednesday someday. That is my goal.
Oh.
He said he will do it, but we'll still see until it actually becomes reality. I don't know what we're gonna. We've actually been talking about. We might do some Arkham horror together. We might see how that goes.
Okay.
Deal, but. Yeah, T. Clark is interesting. Streamforge Games, from what I've seen of their games, is kind of strange. Their own properties all look really solid, but the licensed property look like a mess. I've only played one of their products that is not a licensed product and one that is, and so far I actually agree with him. I haven't played all the other stuff they've done yet, though.
Yeah, I've only played Dark Souls, and I'm like, I played it. I played all the characters and all the content, and then I sold it because I was like, eh.
I wonder what's on our chat's table. What have they been playing?
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, chat. What have y'all been playing?
Everybody out there has been playing. I'd like to know.
Yeah.
Because that can spur our ability to find new games, because we don't ever have enough. We need to find new ones.
And while we're waiting for the chat to kind of post on there what they're playing, I saw a box game pop up that I'm curious to ask you about, Steve, which is the Sleeping Gods one.
Oh, I literally was going to just talk about that.
All in on that one. All in.
Oh, Marvel Champions, Madara. Nice. Nice.
Madara, woo!
Yeah, good choices, Jan. Good choices. Actually, I've been kind of sad because on our Discord server, there's been a lot of like people who just don't like Madara. I'm like, I had fun with that one.
Well, that's because Kanji's been like spreading his filth and lies.
Kanji.
What it has everything except for the gameplay. I just don't enjoy it. I just don't. If you are not a min maxer, you will. It's just it. It's a game meant for people who.
I have a blast. Maxer.
I think you are right.
No, not at all. I just think something because it sounds cool.
Well, to be fair, I was playing with Bairnt, and every game playing with Bairnt is pretty awesome. So,
Yeah.
but it's even better because it's like Bairnt's favorite game, so it was fun.
Yeah, I don't know. I just maybe it's because I played it solo with all four. I just didn't enjoy it, and I still have it over here, but I'm waiting for like my wave 2 to come in, and then I'm selling all of
mute
it.
button on Canje? Can you just mute him for a second? I'm seeing some awesome games right now.
Marvel Champions.
Let's talk about it.
Rings.
Interestingly enough, Marvel Champions is coming to Fantasy Flight Games in the middle of May. I think May 17th or something to the 21st. At that time, Peter is going to be stopping by Minnesota. He's going to be hanging out with us from the One Stop Co-op Shop.
Awesome.
So his parents, who are big into the Marvel Champions, in case you've been not keeping up with every like 2 streams they do a week, they are stopping. I think Terrence is actually running the event, and Peter's coming to hang out and play. So my goal, we'll see if it works, is to get Peter up and moving by 8 o'clock in the morning, and maybe he can join us on a co-op chat here at my house.
Oh, sweet.
That'd be awesome.
I can't guarantee that. I will never say it's going to be a for sure thing. But they're having like instead of like a Lord of the Rings con, it's kind of like a Marvel con is what they're having at Fantasy Flight.
Yeah, that Lord of the Rings con's awesome. They do an excellent job. So I'm expecting the Marvel version to be just as good. So it's a blast.
Cool.
Playing Rage more. Interesting.
I don't know what Rage More is because I can literally play it in my car during lunch break at the job site. Yeah, I've never heard of Rage More.
I gotta check that one out.
See, told you we'll find some games.
Yeah.
What else is there in games other than puzzle solving, storytelling, and min maxing?
That's what it's all about.
Yep.
Locator says Sleeping Gods, reading Art Nova. So here's the interesting thing. Like there is, I can't remember the name. Is it Minecraft game? I can't remember what it's called, but it's Mind Clash Games, the one who made Perseverance and Anachrony and whatnot. I know they didn't make Ark Nova, but when I see the board just kind of littered with things before you, and this is without tokens or minis, it's the board, I get really nervous. I'm like, this is a lot. But I've heard really great things about Ark Nova, about Perseverance, about Anachrony. I just need to get over my fear and give them a shot.
One of my favorite boards of all time is littered with stuff. See my Aliens board? It's like littered with pictures of the movie everywhere. I love it. We live the movie inside the game. Okay, sorry, Steve. Go ahead.
No. I played Anachrony. That one's a pretty fun one. So the whole time travel thing's really well done in that one. It's good. But I do want to talk about Sleeping Gods because we mentioned that, and that was one I have played recently for the first time. But I played. I played the P&P, the print and play for one. It's a different standalone scenario its own campaign type thing, where you're like in a riverboat and moving around. Mechanically, I think it worked fine, but I actually was a little disappointed in it. I was expecting to love it because I love like open world exploration type games, and narrative adventures are normally pretty fun for me. But this one just felt like it was maybe because of the print play, maybe because there's like corners they had to cut or whatever. But like I go to some place, I do this thing, and I come back to it, and it'll jump me to another spot. But like I felt like I was like had to go to different areas, and just wasn't like I'd rather just read the book and like pick and choose what's happening in the book rather than doing anything on the table, because then the table didn't seem as impactful other than like draining some of my resources. I don't know. I was expecting to love it because I know like Colin is super high in Sleeping Gods, but at least the print and play one of my little experience I had with it just didn't sell it to me.
Super Hot Sleeping Gods. 2 players is the key to victory in that game. The other cool thing about Sleeping Gods is being able to get it, put it on the table, and play it for 6.5 hours, 2 days straight. That is how you play Sleeping Gods.
Yeah.
That's what Canje and I experienced it. Or not Canje, but Colin and I experienced it. He has backed the next one. And for those, of course, that don't know, he and I live 15 minutes away from each other, so sometimes we decide who's going to back these kind of bigger games, and he's all in on that one. And so when it arrives, we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to take a couple days off, he's going to take a couple days off, and we're going to put the kids on the bus, and then we're going to sit down and play the game until the kids come off the bus, and then we're going to call it a day, come back the next day, and do it again.
Nice.
It super fun. And then after that, we liked it so much we both did split playthroughs of it, and then didn't watch each other's playthroughs until we were done to see where we actually went in the world. We might do that again, except we might split it up a little bit, where he might do the first. Basically, you go through the deck 3 times for those who haven't played it. And he's probably going to record the first one. I'll record the second one. He'll record the third one. So it's like even then, inside this single adventure we're going to be like jerking ourselves around the board because he'll be like, "I'm just about to finish this with my deck right out. Okay, Bairnt, your turn. I'm going this way."
So let me ask a question about that. So Sleeping Gods, kind of open world exploration. There's a book that has kind of things that happen to you. What do you feel is a difference, or what are the differences between that and Seventh Continent?
You have a way more freedom of movement around the game. You could just kind of take your boat and go from here all the way over here in like 2 turns or in a turn or 2, instead of having to be like, go to this tile, then go to that tile, instead of like this like progressive path, you know what I mean? Like, it's almost like if you're in a certain spot in the 7th continent, you only have 4 ways you can go. Where in this one, you could stop at this island, that island, you could go over this island, you could move over this island, because you're on a boat. It gives you that ability to kind of move around the map a lot easier. And a lot of the things have you find something in one island that you might have to take to another island even, and you don't know which island based on different things or not.
I also feel like it's different in the sense that in Sleeping Gods, I get the impression that you are returning back to locales that you're familiar with, that you've already explored, to explore more of that, as opposed to like Seventh Continent is more of, I'm trying to get out. So I never really want to go back to where I'm from, unless there's like some puzzle or something you have to solve, of course, right? But you always want to move forward. You never want to come back to where you are. So it's more of like a escape room type feeling in Seventh Continent, as opposed to like an open world
sandbox.
You know.
Okay.
At least that's how I kind of differentiate the two.
Okay.
But they're both absolutely amazing.
I've never played either.
Really?
I back 7 Citadel, so the 7 Citadel will be my first foray into the 7th series, and the new Sleeping God Distant Skies will be my first foray into the Sleeping God stuff.
So I need to try the other set, because I know the print play didn't sell for me, but we'll see.
No, the print and play, I think Colin even did a print and play playthrough of it, and everybody kind of went, "Oh, that's the game, huh?" Kind of thing, you know what I mean? It's not even in the game. That's part of not even in the game, I don't think. Unless, I think, or is that going to be the, like, I think it might be the add-on thing, isn't it, or something?
It's
in the new Kickstarter?
Yeah, in the new campaign,
okay.
Yeah.
And it's cool because it showed you the mechanics of the game, but it didn't show you the ability to really give you the scope of what you could do in this game, is the deal.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah. And Robin says we've been playing some potion making game called Quack Something, which we've been playing with the whole family. I really enjoy it.
Yep. Yes, we have. Yes, we have. Colin is a sleeping god. This is very true, Jan. Very, very true. G.I. Joe deck building game. That game is super good. You know, it's not good. The Transformers deck game. But
I'm so upset about it.
Nobody wants to buy it. I've been like putting it up, like, "Hey, anybody want to buy this game? I'll pay you to take it," and nobody will take it.
And yes,
so bad.
Yeah, I want to play a G.I. Joe deck building game. We
transform on the board.
Yeah,
that was the deal.
G.I. Joe looks good. I kind of want to compare the G.I. Joe to Venom Assault. I read the Venom Assault rulebook, and there's a TTS mod, so I'll play that pretty soon here, try it out.
Look, you need somebody to play with, I can do it. I've already played the game. I did a playthrough of it.
Transformers made me so sad because I was choosing between Transformers or G.I. Joe, and I was like, I love Transformers as a kid, so
yeah, get
Transformers. Yeah. And then I watched a playthrough of it, and I never even took the shrink wrap off.
Oh.
I was like, ah.
If only. And yes, Marvel United. Oh, so much goodness.
Yes. One more thing about Sleeping Gods, and we'll move to your Marvel United. I promise.
Okay.
I see Clark is talking about how he's torn between Sleeping Gods and Distant Skies, and the difference in the way you're traveling in this game. If people haven't found out, you can if you Google it or maybe if YouTube it or something. Ryan did put out a way that the combat has changed in the new one versus Sleeping Gods. He did a video on it. And the new combat system is bonkers good compared to the old combat system. So that right there is an easy sell point. The combat in the original one was a little lackluster and could get really difficult with multiple players. But the new combat system, I think, is going to be really, really cool. It's more of a... it has more dynamic going to it. It's still very puzzly, but what's the word I'm looking for? But it has more interaction between the players and the way you're able to interact with the monsters and the way the players are interacting with the fight, which is going to be really cool. So check it out. You can probably Google or YouTube it, like, what's the game called? Distant Skies New Combat System or something. I'm sure the YouTube algorithm will find his video. Super good. I recommend that. Okay. Hey, is there a game? I've heard that this game is called Marvel United. I've got, I think 4 shelves of it out there.
Yeah,
what do you think, Steve?
So much content. Yeah, I'm trying to get through all that stuff. I've been playing that a lot off stream, just trying to build the repertoire to do the review because there's a lot to cover. There's just so much. But it was interesting because we have a Marvel United channel on our Discord, and I know Howard, he wasn't so keen on the game, the first season of it, but he did get the second season. And last night he was basically dude, he seems convinced that he's on board now. He's loving it. And I agree.
What
go ahead.
What is it like? What is the game like? I've never played it. I don't know. I mean, I've watched you and Kim, Steve, you and Kim play it, and but I only caught the latter half, so I didn't even really get the rules. I was just kind of saying, okay, that's a lot of stuff happening. So, what is it like, so I can get a sense of what type of game it is?
It's hard to describe because it's like the simplest rule set in the world, but what game is like it that's out there? I struggle with that. I really do.
Steve, when you asked that question, I was thinking the same thing. What do I describe this game as? It's got such good co-opness to it, but it also doesn't, and it's not heavy. And a lot of the times, co-ops that have great co-op, working together systems, usually are a little bit heavier. You know what I mean? Instead of just dropping one thing and going. You know what I mean? But
sorry, I'm looking at Loqueter Gaming. I watched Steve watch Kim play last night. Yes, Kim did all the work last night in our playthrough. Sorry. But yeah, no, it's interesting. Like Marvel United, it's super cooperative in the sense that you can't do anything without affecting other players, and because you get the actions the person before you did. And of course, what you play is going to affect the next person that goes. And so, turn order actually matters, where you sit around the table and everything. It makes a huge difference in that game. But I think it is a game about resources. Ultimately, what it comes down to, because you have a deck of cards. Once you go through your deck of cards, that's basically it. You don't have a reshuffle or anything when you play everything out. And so you have to figure out, based upon these 3 basic actions plus your special abilities, how to work together to play as efficiently as possible to defeat the boss. And each boss plays pretty significantly differently. They are big differences.
That is what surprised me more than anything, Steve, is how different each boss is. I was thinking, how many things can they do in a game where all you do is walk around a board and put down tokens and stuff? There can't be too much that goes on, but they actually do make the bosses quite different. And I guarantee you someday, I've been slacking. I've been trying to do so many things right. Basically, I think I need to work on I have to work on time management. My son and I want to do a playthrough of that game. He wants to do the Days of Future Past one.
Oh, nice.
So we're gonna do that one together, and that's gonna be hopefully my next video I do. But I've started to get to the point where now I think I've got 5 campaigns going, and I need to figure out which one I want to play because they're all so good. Madara's just phenomenal.
Kanji's I
want to see Canje rage. I'm kidding. But Kanji, I think what you need to do is maybe join Steve on a game or something like, or maybe Steve has to join you for a little playthrough of it where he can kind of teach you and show you what it's all about. Because I was very hesitant about this game until I played it with Colin. Once I did that, I kind of thought, wow, this is really cool. And I backed all the X-Men stuff.
Yeah.
And my kids enjoy it, but I also put it in front of my friends that come over for gaming on Friday. And we played like 3 or 4 games of it because they thought, this is really cool. And I was, again, just like every other person I think that plays it gets really surprised that they're like, there's that much thought and strategy and stuff inside a game like this.
It's deceptive. Like, I thought the same thing when they launched. Like, this seems like a kid's game. Like, really, like, too simple. Not enough decision space, not enough going on. And it's still a simple game. Don't get me wrong. Like, the rules, it's easy to play. But I think that's where it's great because I want a game. I don't want to always play a 2-hour-long game, right? And this Marvel United, I can bring out, put on the table, play a 30-minute game, put it away. I'm good, right? It's got that. It's so fast to play, and it provides a ton of cooperation. And honestly, it's really, really difficult in a lot of cases. Like, I finally won a game of it. Yeah, we played 3 games for the Fantastic Four stream earlier. We won 1 of the 3, so that gives you an idea how hard it is. And that was on the easiest level settings.
So you were saying all bosses are different, or all characters different that you play?
Yes, there will be some disagreement on that, I think, from people, but
they usually have about 3 or 4 unique cards that make them a little bit less like each other.
Correct.
And the amount of symbols you're finding on cards and the type of symbols you find on cards are varied between the heroes. There are only 4 symbols, I guess, technically.
Correct.
So you are going to see a lot of the same cards throughout the game, but they're spread out enough that it does make every character feel a little bit different. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah. Jan's got an interesting question. Okay, how do you convince people Marvel United is good if you need to play it to see it? That's the tough one. I don't know, because I was the same way where when it was on Kickstarter, I actually sat down and mathed it out and tried to figure out like where this game is going. And then by mathing it out, I realized that this is going to be a pretty tight game. Tight as in like close, or a lot of close wins or losses there. And so between that and knowing my son could play it and knowing it's CMON game. CMON games always resell, so I wasn't worried about that. And so that's why I decided to go in on it. It wound up being actually really, really good. So that's a tough one, though, Jan. And does it have better co-op than Greyport? Yes, it does. It has. It probably has the most cooperation than most games out there. Maybe it's one of the top co-op games out there.
Yeah.
Because literally, you can't do anything without affecting other players. You just can't. Well, I shouldn't say that. There's a few anti-heroes, I'd say. Like, if you play Apocalypse as a hero form, he, for example, will not share his power with other people. So maybe there's a few things in there, but it's really hard to do that. So, but yes, I do firmly believe it has better co-op than Greyport. So, Greyport's great, though. Don't get me wrong.
Never played it.
You never played Battle for Greyport?
No, I never played Battle for Greyport.
Oh. Okay. It's a good one. Very good.
There's a lot of good ones out there, man.
Yeah, there's definitely a few that a lot of people name like Ragemore. I've never heard of that. I have to look into that to see how that is. Greyport, is it called Greyport? Is it short for another name?
Battle for Greyport. Sure. It's a cooperative deck building game. We try to take down a boss, fantasy themed.
Okay.
It's good. It's deck building. It's not great on deck building itself, but the game itself is really, really well done.
Okay. All right.
Keep the Heroes Out, Dan mentioned, which has similar mechanics. I'm trying to think what he's talking about there.
I think he's talking about Marvel United.
Oh, yeah, could be.
Yep. And apparently I need to play it with Jan, and I need to get Colin to play too. Battle Greyport.
Yes.
I know Mike is huge on Battle of Greyport as well. I think Peter is too. I think both of them really enjoy Battle of Greyport.
Yeah. I think Peter taught me it, actually.
Okay.
So, yeah, it was a lot of fun. How many post-it note tabs would Canje need in the Marvel United rulebook as he learns it? Nice.
That was, for those of you that don't know, Canje held up the rule book to, what was it? Zuishwafu or something? What's the name of that game?
Yeah, Kakusa, whatever it is.
I'm terrible at pronunciations. I could never say a name right. I can barely say the name of my heroes right, and it's like Dawnguard, and I still can't say the name right sometimes. Anyway, he holds up the rule book, and you see these like tabs all around. It looked like a college textbook. It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing.
Nice.
To learn it somehow. I think that's the thing. When there's no videos, I go through the book, and because the rule book needs a lot of love, I have to put tabs to say, okay, I'm here. Go over here to find the reference to that thing before going back.
Yeah, we talked about that last time. What games like that need is like, and then like be like, okay, and then the monsters are going to attack, which you can find on page 63 of the rule book. Oh, okay, just turn to 63 if I wanted to find that. You know what I mean? Where sometimes when they don't do that, you're like, then the monsters attack you. I'm like, monster attack. What's that all about? The monster attack part, you're like, monsters attack you, and then you can do defensive moves. And don't tell me where those are. I'm like, because now we're going on to how they monsters move. Oh, now I gotta find a defensive move.
And someone posted a comment recently on one of the videos I did for that game where they said he has these bold references to keywords that's supposed to mean something, but no definition of what that word means.
Oh no.
No definition. No. So it's completely open interpretation, and that's where I have to go to the forums to be like, what does this mean? I don't know.
Sure.
But yeah, I say, Steve, I'll say that I plan to come over there. It's probably going to be in the month of May where I come over. Probably a week when my son's with his mom, and I'll just come over there, and you could teach me Marvel United, and we'll figure it out.
We'll have some fun. We'll do a stream together. It'll be fun. There's another game I want to mention. I know Colin is excited to do a video of it soon because you were talking to me about it. Nemo's War.
Oh yes.
Journey's End expansion came out, and that is the final expansion.
You got that.
Do you have this one, Bairnt?
Colin backed it. Why do I need to back it? It's just I can borrow it from him.
That's true.
So the answer is yes.
He was going to do Bard Song, and I said, nope, I got that one. Don't worry about it, because he had just backed something like kind of big. So I was like, I'll take care of this one. Don't worry about it. We all we collaborate every once in a while. Like, hey, this is coming out. Do you want to get it? Or do you want me to get it? And he chose to get this one, the Nemo's War, because he really enjoys Nemo's War. I like Nemo's War. Don't get me wrong, but I figured, hey, you want your collection, I'm sure. So why don't you go for it? So yes, go ahead, Steve.
Yeah, this is the last expansion for it, so I've been playing that a little bit, and Nemo's War was the solo game that decided I don't need many more solo games, so many more, because when it comes down to it, and that's why if you watch the channel, I focus so much on cooperative games, because there's a lot of great solo games out there, but I always get to the point where like if the solo game's good, I want to share this with other people. And I want that ability, and obviously sometimes solo games you can't. Like Nemo's War, it has a co-op mode. Do not play it co-op. Do not. It is not good co-op. So, but that's one that it feels like an not an open world adventure. It kind of feels like open world adventure. But I'm just going on an adventure on the Nautilus, and then 10,000 Leagues Under the Sea, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
What does the expansion bring?
It brought new motives, so you can now do a piracy motive, and then a world order, I want to say. What's the other one? I'm not positive on that name.
Like Ministry of the World Order?
Yeah, maybe. It added a cool new
I'm probably the only one that knows that reference.
Yes. Oh, Dan says, Nemo's punched on the shelf waiting for some videos from content creators. Wish I knew some. Oh, no, Dan! Okay, if Colin doesn't do it soon, I'll get one out for you. So one or two will get one for you. So
I did a playthrough. I did a playthrough the old one, and after I got done, Colin watched it and he goes, "I have never killed as many ships as you have in my entire life playing this game." And he goes, and I even did the war scenario, and you killed more ships than I did. I'm like, oh really? And I still, what did I get? I got like undesirable. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
It's so hard.
Dan, I do know a content creator, Rob from Rob's Gaming Table. He did a playthrough of it. So
of the new one?
Of the new stuff?
Yeah. So he, not of the new content. He did one of the base game. But I know he has one up there. I've never played any of it.
Oh,
I need to, like, these are games that I hear are really good, and then I think when I went to go buy it, it was out of stock, so I was like, okay, I moved on to something else.
So Laketer Gaming, you worked on Nemo's War. That's awesome, because yeah, Nemo's War, I'm a huge fan.
Yeah.
I love that game.
It's one of our favorites.
Yeah.
Nice.
It is one of the pinnacle solo games I have in my collection for sure. And so so what did it add? Add allies, which are really cool. So now you have these other characters you can come across when you go for treasures. Like you get assassins and diplomats and stuff. They do really cool, fun abilities. The It also added characteristics to your crew. So now it's not just a crew, first officer, second officer. Now they have, this one has a medical officer. Now can heal other people. This one is untrustworthy or something. So they have now new abilities you get assigned to them, which is really cool. And then the one of the big things is now you have Nemo's son. So in the game you can come across his son, and then sometime later you have a family matter you have to resolve with his son, which is kind of interesting. But yeah. Is
it a story, or is it just kind of a goal?
It's a goal that creates your own story around.
It's emergent narrative, I would say.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're drawing a deck of cards that actually kind of creates your story as you go, which is kind of cool.
Right.
Yep. And it's it's kind of a combination of a Euro, a Ameritrash, and a war game all wrapped up into one package, I'd say.
Yep.
Okay.
So
it's a good game when Colin and I both own the game.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. I'll buy it.
Don't get it. I need it now, or wherever you get your games from, Amazon or local.
Yeah, I'll order it. I'll definitely order it and give it a shot. It's if both of you are like, yeah, this is top level, I'll give it a shot.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there's tabletop simulator out there, and Steve would be more than happy to walk you through it. I'm sure.
Yeah, actually,
but then again, Bairnt likes Madara, so yeah.
Bring it on, Canje. You're in North Carolina.
Actually, Colin and I had a fun Nemo's War experience because it's only a solo game. It has a co-op mode, but it's not good, so I didn't play it. But I wound up having Colin turn on his camera, pointing at his Nemo's War board, and I was on audio. And I taught him the game and watched him play his first game of Nemo's War together. It was really fun. So it's a fun experience that we both still remember. So because it got really late, and Colin's like, "Man, you've been great helping me to learn this game, helping me with the rules and everything. If you want to sign off or whatever, it's fine. I got this." I'm like, "Nope, I'm invested. I want to see how you win. Let's see. Let's go."
We're going to power through this way.
Exactly.
Thomas has a question for you, Bairnt. It says, Bairnt, since you and Colin are already sharing games back and forth, has there ever been an instance where there was a big expensive game that you both wanted and went halfsies on?
No. We kind of just discuss what's coming out, and then whoever decides that wants it more or something usually just kind of goes and grabs the whole thing. That's usually how we do it. Like, for example, before we started this, like, we both have a copy of Oathsworn coming, just because this was before we decided to start doing this. Otherwise, one of us probably would have backed Oathsworn, the other one would have just not. And we also have like certain publishers and certain themes that fit each other. Like any dark theme or anything that's to do with like vampires or things like that, I'm the one backing him. It's not really in Colin's wheelhouse, but but the cool thing is he's just like me. He'll try any type of game. So just because it's not his theme, he'd still want to try it just to see what it's like. I mean, he never thought he'd like Cthulhu Death May Die as much as he does because of the theme. So if it wasn't for people telling him to back it, he would never have backed that with the theme. But since he did, he really enjoys it. So there's games that I brought to him that he would never normally played or backed, and he's like, "Oh, this is really good." Like, and I still have to make him play Nemesis. He hasn't played it yet. That's another game that he wants that I need to make him play because again, the theme of it wasn't something he was interested in. But so I have actually everything from Nemesis. He has nothing. He actually got his copy and instantly sold it because he didn't need it because I had a copy. We did that with Tainted Grail as well. Once one of us has the entire thing, and he has nothing of it. He didn't need it because I had it. Basically, I think we do that with every Awakened Realms games. I have it. He doesn't.
Even ISS Vanguard you went for instead of him?
Oh my gosh, yes. All in. Boom.
Okay.
Send it to me now. Etherfield. It's all back here. I still have it.
Yeah. I'm waiting for the new rulebook to come out because I have Etherfields and I went kind of all in on that one. So once the new rulebook where I can skip Stupid Dream World, I'm planning to dive back into that.
Clever man, that Colin. No, it's clever man Bairnt too, because Bairnt doesn't have to pay for the games he would normally back.
Yep, helps a lot.
Let What about you, Steve? Where are your? I mean, I know you're very open as well as Bairnt, just like Bairnt. Just say, hey, we'll give a shot to everything. But is there something to where you would say, nah, I'm not interested in that, just from kind of seeing what type of game it is?
Yeah, I mean, mentioning your foray into roll and writes, I've tried a few of them, and they just don't do anything for me. I don't know. They're not like they're not bad games. I just
Right.
not
They
interested in
just
them.
don't call to you. Yeah.
Yeah, so it doesn't call for me. Certain themes will do that too. Like I'm not interested into gross horror stuff. I think the exception is zombies for whatever reason I'm not normally okay with. But there's so many zombie games out there. I don't really need more of those either.
You say gross horror. What do you mean? Like, give an
Something
example.
like what is the game I backed? Oh my gosh, now I can't remember it. Who's the one? Byron. What's his game? Oh, come on, chat, help me, man. Byron did a game. He did Deep Madness, and then he put out another one.
Dawn of Madness. Dawn of Madness.
Thank you, Dawn of Madness.
Yeah.
He will never back that game because it's kind of got that whole like. It's in other words, he's not going after something like a Silent Hill type thing or any of those like really spooky horrors where like a person's in the bathroom or something and rises up out of the bathtub or something. You know that kind of stuff. He's not going after that stuff. Where I have honestly there's not a single theme that I am ever like that distracts me. There's nothing that'll ever take me away from trying a game. But yeah, I can understand there are for people, which I think is maybe do we cover that topic at some time, Steve, or not? I don't remember.
Might have. I think but it's interesting because I'll still sit down and play it. I just won't buy it. Like I remember,
right. And that's what Colin does too. He would probably try that game, but he would never buy a game like that. Which is why our mutual relationship works so well.
The game that really stood out to me that did that was Chaos in the Old World. It's an older game. And just for example, like the map itself is like stretched human skin. It's like the board is like pretty gross.
What? Really?
Yeah. Maybe it's like human skin. It's stretched skin. It's pretty gross.
What's the game called?
Chaos in the Old World, I would say.
I might buy this one. What is it called? No,
I'm looking it up right now because I'm like, I've never heard of this.
Yeah, it's an older game. It's
that game I backed. You're hilarious, T. Clark, by the way. Thank you so much. You're a very funny man.
But I sat down and played it.
Good. That narrows it down. That's good stuff.
Oh, yeah, I see it. I thought that was just like the board.
No, it's like stretched like skin or something. It's like, ugh. Not my thing. Not my thing. Sorry. But I played the game, and I actually I loved it. It was so much fun. Like, mechanically, it was great. So, like, there's a perfect example of, like, nope, don't want to buy it all. Don't need to own it. But, like, I played it, and I wound up loving it. So, it's just different.
Yeah, I find I'm getting more and more drawn into the Cthulhu mythos of games. My first foray was into Arkham Horror LCG, so that was a pit that I cannot seem to climb myself out from. But then I went into Arkham Horror 3rd Edition. I came in too late to play 1st or 2nd, so I played 3rd. I enjoyed it. Love Mansions of Madness. And now, it's kind of out of order, but now... one of my friends got me to try Eldritch Horror. I'd never played it. And I tried it, and I love that game.
Eldritch Horror is great.
I really, when I ask people about it, they're like, "Oh, it's terrible. The RNG is awful. I can't stand it. There are times where you could draw the game out, and it takes so long." But as I was playing it, I was like, "This is really fun. I'm enjoying this a lot. I love this game."
I like the world setting in that one too. It feels fun, like adventures. Yeah, I like that a lot.
So I found that I have a genre. My genre is the sandbox world exploration games, and it comes out in games that my number one is one of those. Hexplore's one of those. I own that. I own a lot of games that are that way. So I'm finding that's where I'm really leaning towards what I love.
Hey, there's people waving the mini Bairnt.
What's your favorite game, Bennett?
The Enchanted Forest game.
You like the Enchanted Forest game, all right.
Oh, okay.
His favorite game. For those of you that don't know Enchanted Forest, look it up. That's his favorite game. He plays that with my wife quite a bit. It's a competitive game I don't play very often. That's his favorite game. He wanted to tell everybody.
Did you backed Isofair Guard, right, Kanji?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah. I know that. Damn it, Rodney's nephew, Adam. On Rolling Solo,
Yeah.
I saw his one, and I watched that play through like 5 times before I was like, yeah, I'm back in that game.
Good.
So
Good.
I went all in on it, and
Good.
when it delivers, it's just going to be amazing.
Yeah.
That is one of my highly anticipated. I think it's supposed to be delivering when, this year, next year?
Possibly this year. Possibly end of the
Okay.
year. Yeah.
Yeah, another one that I'm curious on your thoughts on is Hell the Last Saga. That's by Mythic.
Yes, I feel like I'm one of the few people that actually likes some of the stuff they do. Like Wreckbusters, it had some warts for sure, but they came back and they fixed some of that. And the car playing in that game's amazing. So I'm huge. I'm all about Wreckbusters, but Hell I've not played. I do need to look into that one.
Okay. What's chat saying?
I like Robin's comment here. Sorry, he was up here listening with me and was very upset that his dad wasn't mentioning Enchanted Forest. How dare you, Dad, not mention Enchanted Forest?
Yeah, gotta get that Enchanted Forest. So, yeah,
Totally fine.
It would have been great if he came down there and like flipped the table and be like, Enchanted Forest, Dad, and walks out.
Right.
Oh yes, excellent. Well,
yeah, This, I mean, this is really great. We, like I said, from the one that you talked about dice mechanics, all these other things, like we can spiral this discussion into so many different other discussions.
Yeah,
absolutely.
This is kind of where we usually find some good discussions. We talk about what we've been playing, and then once we find out what we've been playing, we find out what's cool about these games, and we get into like how we dig deeper into these games, which really makes these chats so much fun. And it really appreciate the chat being here because they give us some insight into some games we haven't played before. So we have to go try to find these games. Some of them are not in print anymore, and then we get really sad. But some of them are, and we can actually pick them up and give them a shot. Or if you're lucky enough, maybe your friend down the street 50 minutes away might actually have that game, and you can just borrow it from him. It's pretty fun, I tell you.
There you go, Bairnt. I like that Dan's comment here. He needs his own channel, Bairnt. You know this.
I wouldn't doubt if someday they fill my shoes. Who knows? Or maybe like I've always said, my kids are going to go in two possible directions when they get to high school. They're either going to be super cool because they're going to rebel against everything I do, or they're going to be a super nerdy, dorky guy and embrace everything I do. You never know which one.
Excellent.
Said, I hear myth is a thing.
It is a thing. It's a great thing. It's a great thing.
I've heard you mention it multiple times. Never heard of it. Never messed with it. I need to look it up, but I heard you mention it a lot.
It's good stuff, man. It's good stuff. Amazing. It is amazing. It's not along. It's amazing. This is true. Pumpkinhead is true. True. Myth is one of the best.
Cool.
So anyway,
well,
that's it. Steve, take it away.
Yep, I think we chatted about a lot of fun games. Oh, Jeremy Howard's here. Hey, Jeremy. We said played Hell and was pleasantly surprised by it. They bit off more than they could chew with writing. Makes me worried about errors like Solomon Kane. Yeah, Solomon Kane's a big one for sure, which I love anyways. So.
Yeah, I'm excited for Hell, and hopefully they're taking the extra time to shore up the writing from their last Q&A. So, that Sam was mentioning. So hopefully they'll get it right for sure.
Yeah, Isofair Guard was shipped this year. I think it will. They're really close to having it done, so they're doing some minor tweaks. But that was one thing when I was talking to designer Eric there, like way back in the day when I interviewed him, saying that like he was going to make sure the game was right before sending it out, and so he was going to delay it as needed for that process. I'm like, okay, I'm totally fine with that. I'm on board. So
yeah.
Trespass should be by the summer. Yep, I think that's probably true too. So. And we'll be in 2023. Yeah, that's probably right.
Yeah, ATO is kind of the big one that I think a lot of people are waiting for, because they want to get back into, they want to try a different boss battler other than the KDMs. So we'll see.
I don't know if I have a true boss battler in that sense. Like, I mean, I have games that
try KDM. Try KDM. You will.
Okay.
You will be angry at it. You will hate the game, and then you will not stop thinking about it, and then love the game.
Okay, good to know.
Like when I first played it, I was like, this game's too brutal. It's too much.
Yeah.
It's hard. I don't like it. And for the next 5 days, all I thought about was what I did wrong, how I can make it better, how can I make this game thing. And then I played it again. I was like, okay, can we play KDM again? And I love the game. It's just it's brutal.
Do I have a game that's older than 5 years? That's awesome. That's not myth.
Yes, you do.
Yes. Yes, I do.
I know what game's driving too. Yep.
1986. On top of that, I still have Folklore. I love Folklore, the original. With all the expansions on top of it. And KDM is older than 5 years. I still love that game as well. There are a few back here.
Jan says he's surprised I like KDM. It has so much RNG. I like it because it's not about the character, it's about the settlement.
Yeah.
If you care about the character, you're already looking at the wrong part of this game. Like, I already know I'm going to lose somebody. And if you've seen my KDM playthrough, I actually lost. Steven will have to remind me. I think I failed. We on average, no, not even on average, in one setting, we failed 7 intimacy checks, like not once, in a row. So we decimated our settlement during intimacy checks, where it was left with 2 guys. One of them was missing an arm, and the other one had brain damage.
Jeez.
I see.
And yes, Ryan, I mentioned that early in the stream that we finally won Tiny Epic Dungeons. Yep.
Congratulations. That could be your big win for this week.
That's right. Exactly.
Love it.
Cool. Okay. Well, I think we're running down the chat for now. But it's been a lot of fun, guys. We'll do this again next week.
Same bat time, same bat channel.
Got it. So what's coming up with you start, Bairnt. What's coming up on your channel this coming week?
I have no clue. I think I'm gonna try to do a painting video either today or tomorrow, depending on a lot of the time my schedule fluctuates so much sometimes it's really kind of tough to know what we're planning to do. That's kind of the deal. So that's going to happen either today or tomorrow. Whichever one I don't do, I'll probably record a video that day. If I have to put Nemesis their 4th mission out, I still want to get back to Bard Song. I've got to edit Bard Song, so I got to finish the first video and put it up first. So I'm going to be working on those. I'm actually probably going to start asking my Patreon what campaigns they're interested in seeing, because that way I can get those type of games to the population so that they can see what they're interested in and be able to get some good stuff out there for them. I'm going to start having guests join me for my painting videos, so be prepared. One of you two might be joining me at some point. I don't know when or how, but it'd be kind of cool. I also have a game called Omicron Protocol that I'm probably going to work on this weekend. Here's the bear figure from that. It's a bear with a giant metal arm. He's going to be part of that crew that's going to be working on that. It's a scenario-based game. They also have a mini Kickstarter coming up, I believe. It's coming very soon, so I want to make sure that I can help them with that because the game's pretty cool. And I like to support designers that have cool games. That's my goal.
What about you, Canje?
So, in essence, I don't know what I'm doing this week, but some stuff is coming out.
I am on vacation, so therefore I am playing through the next 3 scenarios. Well, the only 3 scenarios of Ogmor's Mask for Zerwe. So I'm going to be playing through that, so people get a sense when the reprint Kickstarter comes up, if it's something that they're interested in. Tomorrow I'm doing 4 Against Darkness, Blinged Out, and I'm also playing Pandemic Legacy on Thursday. Chatting with you fine fellows on Saturday. On Friday, I'll be playing Gloomhaven Digital with Rob from Rob's Gaming Table. And then Sunday, I'll be playing D100 Dungeon. So cool. A week of streams all week.
Awesome.
Wow. I need a vacation.
Nice.
This one's long overdue. I haven't had a vacation since 2020. So.
Oh, wow.
It's kind of due.
Yeah, you've been due for one.
I thoroughly have to take 6 weeks of vacation or I lose it. So
sounds like 6 weeks of board games. That's what that sounds like.
6 weeks of traveling around with the kids. Lots of fun. We do a lot of travel like that. It's pretty cool.
What about you, Steve? What are you playing?
Well, Monday we'll be continuing through the Marvel United content. I haven't decided what new content to show yet. As we're working through sampling of it, I'll probably do another couple, probably this week and next week, I'm guessing, and then we'll probably do the review by that time. I think I'll go through a good chunk of I can't go through all the content; it's just too much. But I'll go through enough of it to be able to review it by then, I think. And I'm not sure what's happening Wednesday, but I think it's going to be a surprise to me because there's a package that's out to deliver from Quartermaster Logistics that's arriving Sunday, and I don't really know what it is.
Is it Bart's song? I bet it's Bart's song because I don't have it.
Yeah, it is. Okay.
The best part would be if he gets it and he didn't even back it, and before you get it.
Ship it, Steve. They're like, oh, we shipped you Kanji's copy because
No, I'm wondering if it's Paint the Roses Red. Because I know that's shipping soon. So if that's coming up, then I'll probably do that Wednesday. We'll see. We'll see what that is. So that's arriving Sunday. So I'll post the schedule later Sunday, so you guys will know what's happening.
Sweet.
Yep. Wait, Canje doesn't have Bart song yet? Wasn't aware.
I've been spewing my salt all over the internet, just being like, oh, I want my game. I'm not mad at SFG. I'm not mad at QML. This is just me kind of being like, "Oh, my game, please."
Yeah, totally.
So it's aimless anger.
Yeah, I hear you.
Excellent. Cool. Well, thanks guys for joining. It's been a blast, like always.
Yeah. Always. Thank you so much for having me. I really enjoy this.
This is awesome. We are now the awesome streamers, so thank you all for joining us. It is great to have you all here. We're going to be moving into what, I don't even know, we got lots of stuff coming, so check out my channel, check out Canje channel, check out One Stop Co-op Shop. This is going to be a week of awesome gaming from awesome streamers. So thank you so much for joining, and what do you say, Steve?
We'll see you at the next stop.
That's right.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.